Gina Carano is on a roll shortly after she already spoke out against Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and all that stuff in light of the Panderverse South Park stuff. Now she has just recently made a tweet calling out the SAG strike and more issues with woke Hollywood in response to Rachel Zegler making a post saying that, oh, okay, yay, we can promote stuff now. Hooray. All right. So let me just dive into the video. So here is the tweet in question. She doesn't hold back. Like, I love it. We need this. So anyway, so here is Rachel Zegler, part of the SAG strike. And then here she says, we have an interim agreement. Thank you, SAG-AFTRA, Lionsgate. Okay, so apparently, she can promote her Hunger Games movie now. I don't quite understand the specifics of all of how this strike works and all this and that. But yeah, apparently now she's able to promote stuff and she's excited about it. So Gina says here, what an odd strike this is. Small non-studio productions are having trouble getting waivers, but studios get the interim agreements left and right. Celebrities go from the picket line to their promotional tours and red carpets. What happened to that? I better get paid for every hour I stand in this dress talk. That was just such a mic drop moment for those who are uninformed. If you didn't catch that insufferable Rachel Zegler quote, then I envy you. All right. So anyway, let's continue. Meanwhile, the people who are actually suffering are the crews and actors, not a part of studio projects or the in-group to get their waivers granted. The ones whose money will run out quicker, the ones who are having to pick up a second line of work, the ones who will be controlled a whole lot easier once the strike ends based off of desperation to work. Think that was by accident? Maybe they should have granted waivers for all the non-studio productions, keep people working, and halt all studio productions if they really want to make a difference and reach a faster agreement. Who is this strike really intended to hurt again? Better make a deal quick. People are starting to notice. I'm sure it'll be in favor of all the right people, and all the right people will pat themselves on the back on an excellent deal and months of suffering well worth the wait. At least while you're at it, you could throw into the agreement that it will never again be permitted to allow any production to force inject poison, experimental jabs into people's bodies in the name of science ever again. Bravo! Because that in itself wasn't something big enough to have had a huge strike over. The hypocrisy is palpable. The system is rigged and littered with posers. Art is free. Creativity is your rebellion. You don't need permission to do that. And then this shooting star emoji. She has just been such on a roll. Also, okay, and in her reply here, she says, this is also not to encourage heaps of hate onto this young lady. I don't want that. Unfortunately for her, she is just really great at shining a light on the hypocrisy that's happening. Yeah, and that's very gracious of Gina to even say this, because didn't Rachel Zegler go after Gina about the beep boop pronouns joke? I don't know, but Gina is clearly has more class. So anyway, yeah, we talked about this on the Geeks and Gamers Tuesday night's main event as well. If you guys haven't watched that, that stream was yesterday at the time of me recording this. You can catch that on the Geeks and Gamers channel. It was a fun stream. So anyway, we did talk about this, and one thing that we said is this is also this kind of what we see, the corruption and all this sort of stuff going on in Hollywood, we also see in the gaming industry as well. It has seeped into that. And part of being, a part of in the group here, as Gina says, in the group, because things like this, who is it hurting? It's hurting people who are not in the group. And a lot of things like this filter people out. I mean, look at the gigantic backlash that a couple of actors who did try to speak out against jab mandates, even the music industry as well, which we already know is also corrupt, especially like pop, those top charting artists, pop, rap, all that kind of stuff, like the mainstream, really popular stuff these days. Nicki Minaj had so much backlash for speaking out against jab mandates. And then we had like the Black Panther actress. I am very bad with actor names, so bear with me. But Letitia, right? Or something like that. Letitia, I want to say. Anyway, she spoke out against or said something. We had that Evangelina Lilly as well, and the backlash was just insanity. This during the times of speaking of like experimental jabs and jab mandates, that and the other. Same sort of thing within the gaming industry as well. You saw all of these big streamers, all of these personalities in the gaming space who are all just, get the jab or you're selfish, do this, do that, like you should do this, or unfollow me now if you're not jabbed. I mean, it was insane. I know this wasn't that long ago, but some people like to conveniently forget, especially the people that were pushing this and shoehorning this and just on the front lines, aggressive, angry, vicious to people about not wanting an experimental vaccine in their own body. And so, yeah, like I said in my other Gina Carano video, that when I spoke out against the jab mandates, dude, they like tried to cancel me so hard. And that's where I lost like 90% or more of my peers in the gaming space and in the gaming industry. But, I'm not a part of that cool group. I don't have the opinions that the group has. And so anyway, yeah, things like this strike, it's going to hurt. This is just going to hurt other people. Think about, like, speaking of jab mandates, all that stuff. Think about the pandemic as a whole, the plandemic. Think about what lockdowns, all that sort of stuff. Who did that hurt? It was a gigantic transfer of wealth. That hurt small businesses more than anything. Meanwhile, these mainstream large businesses profited. I mean, look at how much Pfizer profited, speaking of this sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, when you really look at it and unpack everything, it's like, who is benefiting from these sort of things? And when it comes to the entertainment industry at large, it's like it's rough out there for those who aren't a part of that popular group. But anyway, here we have the article from Bounding into Comics as well. So this is the movie that Rachel Zegler is promoting. This is what she got her little interim agreement to promote. Honestly, everything she's been touching has been colossally failing, so I don't see this going well. What the crap is even going on with this outfit? I remember, now I'm not super versed on Hunger Games and stuff. I did watch the first movie, but I do remember some weird outfits and stuff. But come on, this is very it's just very feminine for a dude to be wearing a skirt like that. So yeah, here is Rachel Zegler's post. She goes, "I am so beyond grateful to Lionsgate and SAG-AFTRA for working so hard throughout this strike to come to an agreement, allowing us to participate in press and promotion for our film, which comes to theaters on November 17th. Lionsgate's efforts are proof that studios, big and small, can meet us in a place of fairness for their films and the people who work so hard to make them." Fairness with who, though? With who? "Making this movie was hands down one of the best experiences of my life thus far." Weird. Unlike Snow White, which apparently she hates the source material for. I cannot wait to share more behind the scenes content with you all, the fans, who make experiences like this 8 million times better. There will be lots of all my beautiful friends from the cast, as well as appreciation for our crew, which is filled with people I love so deeply. So watch this space. There's more to come. Swipe for me staring at my boyfriend absolutely eating up the camera. It's our anniversary today, so it only felt right to share this photo as well. I love you, honey. Cannot believe I get to say this with only a few weeks to spare, but see you out there on our press tour. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. I'm trying to click and see, is her boyfriend the actual co-star? How many times does that happen? Because that happens a lot. Well, I can't see it, so oh wow, I think I'll be fine. I think I'll move on with my life not knowing who she's dating. Anyway, Gina Carano for the win. As always, I love to see her speaking out against all of this stuff. You know, she is such a big name to be doing this. You know, and it's amazing. She didn't even have to do this. I mean, she was on a huge trajectory there. I mean, huge role with Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, season 1 and 2. And there's no telling what else that she would have had from mainstream Hollywood after that. But she still chose to use her platform to speak out against the things that, you know, she was against, the things that's going on in the world, the things that's going on in America. And at that time with the jab mandates or people getting fired from their jobs and things like that just for voting Republican, just for being a Trump supporter, this, that, and the other. And so if she really wanted to, she could have just stayed quiet, not shared her opinions, and moved on to Mandalorian season 3, which Bounding Into Comics also has an article there about what they were planning to do with her character allegedly. She could have, and then no telling what else with Disney, Disney Star Wars or Disney in general that they may have wanted to use her for. But it was very brave of her to speak out and use her platform for that anyway, even though it did result in the way that it did. But hey, Gina is resilient. Gina is strong, and mad props, because this is so important. And we definitely need to see more of this. A lot of people forget, like I just said earlier, a lot of people forget just how bad things were. Like even on social media, on Twitter, people were getting banned for the most ludicrous stuff. They were silencing voices so hard back during the pandemic stuff, you know? And so now we're seeing a little bit more leeway with that sort of thing. You know, after Elon bought Twitter, not that I think Elon is some like savior. He's got plenty of his own issues as well, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, before I get on another tangent, yeah, mad props to Gina. Love her. She's amazing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to read your Bible today as well. And if you want to hear me read the Bible to you, you could do that on my channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack. I'll have a link in the link tree in the description, as well as on the end card here. So thank you again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.